It's also been picked 8 times this tournament, 8-0. 100% win rate. Every time a Monkey King is picked, it wins a game. Sand King 8-2, as already mentioned. The Troll, which I'm a bit interested about too, is also 2-1, so not a lot of Troll picks so far. But the numbers are favoring on both sides with these hero picks that they have.
What
for
the
game
hell?
number one
Which
of
heroes
FISSURE
are
finals.
losing, Panda? Whichever hero you say, he has some insanely good win rate. I know it's not a long tournament, but what the hell is going on? Like, give me a hero that has a low win rate.
Dawnbreaker, 17 picks, 29%. You happy?
Yeah.
Shadow Fiend, 12 picks, 33%.
Okay, so yeah, there are some. I just thought that everybody's winning, you know? Are we handing out participation trophies or are we playing Dota? But okay, so somebody's losing as well.
But I like the fact because, you know, you have the two most winning or winningest team. I know that's broken English, but you have them in the grand finals, obviously. So they're going to have success on these. That's why I was looking at overall hero statistics. But yeah, Sand King and Monkey King, unfortunately, won't be playing in the same lane. And it is Yatoro for the carry, Malrine for the mid SK. And get this laning stage underway. Poshka already doing a bit of trading there with Amar.
Now you're playing versus Team Spirit, who have only lost one game in this tournament thus far. And they are playing a Monkey King, which is a hero that hasn't lost a single game. So Falcons, it's...
You just baited like half the chat.
Yeah.
They're like, why are the casters even talking about this? Is all scripted. They know they're gonna lose.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard though.
They'll never know.
Yeah, it's very easy though to script the Team Spirit are gonna win a tournament. You know, if we ever since they won their first DI, of a little bit even before that, if we were like, yo, Team Spirit are gonna be winning, we'd be right like 50% of the time, which is amazing.
Yeah, you win some, you lose some. The Dota terminology. But yeah, you got... Actually, they haven't really placed that sentry down on the Sand King yet. Morel doesn't have a sentry for himself either, so this might just go down the line between the two. I think the Slardar balances out that mid matchup quite a lot. If it were some other hero, when I was talking about the whoever wins the sentry battle wins the lane, maybe Slardar is a bit more durable than that because he's great at brawling.
Yeah, if he just stays inside of the river, he's able to fight the Sand King. But Sand King is one of the better heroes, melee heroes to lane versus the Slardar, because he actually has very high base armor. So you should be fine either way. Both of these heroes like to stand their ground and just fight each other. So it is actually going to be interesting to see which of the two brawlers is going to be coming out ahead. It seems that for now, Malrine, at least in terms of applying pressure, is doing better.
Yeah, it is very back and forth, for sure. At the moment, Collapse is not picking up that much CS, and Snaking and Skitter are making sure that this Doom is not getting a free time in the lane. Rue and Collapse probably waiting for a level 3 timing with Scorched Earth and Infernal Blade. And Rubik also needs a level 2 to be able to act, because, you know, when you only have the Fate Bolt, you have no way to bring the target to the Doom.
Yeah, with Collapse getting a point in the Infernal, the Troll is going to be annoying you more.
Yeah, one scales, the other doesn't. Only one giving you extra movement speed. I guess if you run the full duration, maybe Guardian Sprint at max level is going to take you further than the Scorched Earth does. But we're not really running a 100-meter hurdle, are we, in Dota?
Nope.
We only look for openings.
But the Doom also, he does damage, right, with that Scorched Earth. So even if you run into the Whirling Axis, you can still hurt the Troll a little bit, and that is a big part of it.
Well, the top lane is actually led by Amar, 18 to the 12 on the Monkey King. So this top lane, so far, so good in the arms of Falcons. You can see Atoro's also revealed a bit of his item build too, having the Cornucopia queued up. Looks like he might be looking for a Mage Slayer and a Radiance. That Mage Slayer is gonna be handy versus the Sand King's damage output, the Hoodwinks, the Pugnas.
Pretty cool, right? You are we're seeing many different builds on the Monkey King. I'm a big fan of the Echo Saber Deso, which we saw from Nikkei in one of the group stage matches, but there are just so many different ways to build this one.
Yeah. Collapse is getting poked again quite heavily here, but already used both of his spells, so Snaking And that Nether Ward, well, blood grenading up Ru. First blood, it goes for Falcons as they're able to take down the Rubik. They sent a lot of that poke onto Collapse's Doom, but saw an opening on that Rubik. Kind of discussed already the high movement speed on both the Troll and the Pugna. They're able to close up on a no-boots Rubik.
One thing I'm really impressed with in this game in particular is how Crit has been playing the top lane. He's not allowing Miposhka to isolate him. He's always somewhere close there to annoy the Monkey King, and that is allowing this Bristleback to have such a great lane. And again, they're going through.
Let's take up the toss out. Collapse still soaking up explosions from snaking. Both are pushing the wave. As soon as you see that scorched earth, it already hits the creeps. Then you're allowed to use your Nether Blast to try and balance it out a bit. He's getting some really good connections on this Pugna. Very high damage output already by him.
Well, this'll work.
Collapse is really suffering in this lane. I think he is starting to regret. Oh, he's going to be suffering soon too.
I don't think he's going to dance his way out of this one. 3 versus 1. Finish off the Ogre.
That's a nice little snipe by Ru. He might actually survive still.
See, throwing axes are there. Trying to get to the
Deny.
setters. He hopes that his buddies can help him out, but snaking. Oh, he tried to go for the lift, and the Nether Ward ended up killing him in the end. So Pugna will get a kill for himself, despite not even being there.
He actually wanted the Fade Bolt to reduce the damage. The Telekinesis was on cooldown, so. But either way, both of them are similar mana, so I'm pretty sure the Telekinesis would have killed him as well.
Yeah, dying to the spell damage. Helped by the ward itself. I guess that's a Rubik's worst nightmare, you know, you're stealing all these spells, but you have no idea how to handle them. Miposhka
nice
shows up
rotation.
bottom. They saw the Pugna down in mid by the looks of it, because Skitter is left all by himself, and 3 versus 1 for Team Spirit this time around. They'll get their second kill.
Yeah, very nice. When you're losing lanes, you want to be moving around a little bit. That is kind of a standard. The teams that is usually winning the lanes, they like to keep the status quo. Maybe even for too long, some people get too comfortable. But when you are losing lanes, something needs to change. And that was probably one of the best ones. What the Troll hates the most is getting ran down. And then even once he gets his level 6, once he gets his ulti, if you pop your ulti versus these heroes that are fast, can kite you and whatnot, you might still die. So we are probably going to be seeing a lot of hate going Skitter's way. So Falcons, they are going to be needing some vision in that bottom lane if that's where Skitter is going to be staying.
Yeah, and most of those Trolls do end up going for the Battle Fury build anyway, so the more kills you can find or the more pressure you can put them in, the better. More Team Spirit. Did see some Troll builds go for the Mjolnir, but usually that's when you're playing against an illusion-based carry on the enemy side.
Well, Malorine is now coming towards the bottom lane. He wasn't spotted by any of the wards.
Use both of their spells. He's not going to go for the Epicenter just quite yet. Just go straight for Collapse. Will burn his Magic Wand charges, but he's still not able to run away. Meanwhile, Amar goes down to Yatoro. Morel also made his move. Help out the Monkey King find a kill of his own.
I'm so not sure about this Bristleback pick. He's going for a Lotus Orb as the first item. You're playing versus a Doom and versus the Slaughter. Maybe that was the idea. Get the best hero that is left that actually builds a Lotus Orb and feels okay about it. But the Bristleback hates both of these heroes. They really do make him squishy, which, you know, the whole point of the hero is that you can't die.
Might be a river clash here at 8 minutes. Rune spawns top. Crit finds the Arcane there, Team Spirit. As they send their heroes bottom, Marine's got a pretty good hunch what's going on.
He saw them
And
on
of
the
course
wards.
the ward as well, yeah, which was showing all of their movements. Trying to set up a defensive play, but a Team Spirit scan does end up finding Snaking. However, Malrine, can he get close enough to the Rubik? And he does find Ru. Stun comes out, only level 1 Stinger. That Sandstorm's going to do the majority of the damage, and it will be enough. Ru goes down, but here comes the Monkey King teleporting in. Malrine almost gets the Epicenter off. Miposhka interrupts it with the stun. They'll zone them away. Skitter also shows up as they push Morel out, getting caught by the bushwhack by Crit, followed up another stun. The Boundless Strike will connect onto Skitter. Morel is running away right now, but Skitter does have a lot of hostiles around him as Collapse is coming in with a level 4
level
doom.
4.
And there's the ulti from Skitter, targeting Yatoro, but the bushwhack comes out at the same time, keeps that Monkey King at bay, and Troll ulti, it has run its course. Yatoro still not out of this one yet.
Needs the heal.
A couple more seconds for the stun, but the lifesteal is going to be enough, and now Falcons are running away as Team Spirit bring in the entire team to fight in the river. It's Rue traded for Snaking and Skitter.
That was a solid one for Team Spirit, and Falcons. They should be very happy that this Doom is so weak. Because if he had his ulti, there would have been a lot different. Also, one of the very annoying interactions when you're playing the troll, when the Monkey King uses his mischief, you change targets. If the target hadn't changed, Yatoro probably dies there, and then we see a completely different outcome.
Do have to highlight the fact for people who have not been watching this tournament so far about Team Spirit is that they're playing with Morel above Laurel. This is already old news that he was standing out for health issues, apparently an eye surgery for Laurel. He's been just preparing for TI, getting a moment's break, and they gave a chance to their academy.
I still want to make a
decision.
decision. That. Exactly. So one thing is he's definitely not bad. That's what you should keep in mind, and he can hold his own.
Also an interesting fact brought to you by FISSURE about Team Universe and their Universe Finals. So the Team Spirit Dragons, as they're quoted, were stopped by Snaking and Skitter. So first time the duo playing against Esports. He beat them, and then Falcons in episode 3. So a blast from the past, talking about EP1 as well, which is kind of we've had so many episodes during the course of this year. But Team Spirit again in the finals. Can they finally break that curse? Even though it's not really a curse when you talk about them playing versus Falcons and their grand finals, at least from recent memory. Well, Collapse does end up going down to Skitter. That's a solo kill, one-on-one. Off lane also a bit of a battle here as Snaking will be traded.
So the Blink Daggers of the mid laners are going to be coming out. The Sand King is getting his, and this is so huge for Falcons, especially because they've killed 2 tier 1s. They might just kill this mid tier 1 as well. Spirit should really try their best to keep this tower alive for a little bit longer, because if it dies immediately after this blink reveal, it's gonna be so much more impactful.
Yeah, it doesn't look like Team Spirit's going to be able to send any reinforcements to it either, because there's only 2 TPs available on the Ogre and the Slardar. So this T1, that is going down. So see how that cascades. Is that going to be some kind of a domino effect on the map now? Falcons with a 3k lead coming out from the lanes.
Huge, right? Because the Sand King gets his Blink Dagger, and he has the whole map literally to play. He can move wherever he wants, go with smokes wherever he wants. Even, you know, if you're randomly moving through an area, there's a good chance that Team Spirit are not going to be able to cover it. Whereas now this Slardar gets a blink. First, he doesn't have no access points. Second of all, the side of Falcons, they have towers everywhere. So if you want to go for a kill into a tower with a smoke, you'd have to use 2 or 3 of them to even get close to these towers of Falcons, let alone open them up. So Team Spirit, once again, their early game, it is a struggle bus a bit, but they've came back so many times that we can just never write them off.
Might be a bit of a shaky start, sure. But these late games, they've always been able to stretch, no matter how hard the situation's been. The only time that they lost was in the upper bracket finals versus Liquid. So every other game, if the game has gone long, they've still been able to manage to get a win. Skitter and Malrine, both cores coming down bottom. Eposhka smoked up right next to him. They see the moves coming in.
They know about
is
this.
the bait in the lane, has Doom ready.
Oh, Falcons, they read them like a book. They see that something is wrong. Nobody's showing up on the map. Okay, guys, they know. They're coming to protect their offlaner. Let's just change the playing field. So now we are going to be baiting. Of course, the difference is Team Falcons, they've got a tower.
They got a tower, but they're missing a couple players. 5-on-3 to start the fight. Malrine loads up the epicenter, cancels Yatoro's jump in, and Monkey King has to back away right away. Amar has finally gotten here as well, and they're chasing the Monkey King. And there's the snipe. Crit will take him down with the sharpshooter. Collapse. No Doom used just quite yet. It doesn't look like they'll get a chance to do so either, as Amar and Skitter are going to chase him. And at the bottom half of the map, Rue is getting chased
what a play.
to death. He manages to get snaking at least, but he'll finally drop his life. And they seem to get that Doom back to safety. Teleports home. 2-for-1 trade. A bit unlucky there for Yatoro, landing that tree dance jump straight into a Burrow Strike stun.
Still, it was the preparation of Falcons that was impeccable, right? Team Spirit are lucky that they only lost 2 heroes. That could have been much, much worse for them. Collapse found a little place there in between the trees to get a TP off, and Falcons didn't check that little part of the map, so he got himself out. But that was 100% Falcons reading Spirit like a book. They're like, guys, they got a Blink Dagger on their Slardar, and they're baiting us on this Doom. And also, they're so far behind that they cannot let this move just go to waste. They're not gonna go back to farming, so they just changed the game. Instead of going for the Doom and getting baited in, they baited on their troll. It was perfect.
Catching Crit here in the trees here. There we go. Morel will follow him with a blink as Yatoro gives the vision for him. Hoodwink killed. Where there used to be a tier 1 tower for Team Spirit and an instant smoke to get themselves on the move. Away from that top lane area. Hope to catch somebody down in mid. Someone maybe called Malrine. Collapse. No blink. And Roshan is also walking in.
Malrine is like, I gotta bail this guy. He's gonna toss me into some death.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have a blink now.
Morel is going to see Snaking running in, but they're going to miss out on Skitter. That was the kill that they were hoping to find, which they will not get, so they'll finish off another support. After moments ago, they killed Crit. Now they killed Snaking with the smoke. And that also means there is still 1 smoke on the Pugna. There's also 1 smoke in the shop. For Team Spirit, they also have 1 smoke remaining in the shop. So you can make another play inside the next 5 minutes with it if you want to, but it is, of course, nighttime. You think things are going to get slowed down a little bit here, or are we going to see both teams still fighting during the nighttime?
We are going to be seeing Rue probably dying, and this was... I like this death from him, though, because things are definitely going to slow down, in a sense that you said. You do not want to be using that last smoke right now. It is way too dangerous to just throw it away. Then you're going to be helpless to do anything on the map. So what you want to do as Team Spirit right now is maybe sacrifice some of your supports, go onto the enemy side of the map and force them to rotate. But unfortunately, that forced rotation now is going to be ending with Falcons getting themselves a Roshan.
Yeah, I like the idea. Falcons, if they can get this Aegis for themselves, will buy them security up till the daytime of 20 minutes plus. And as we're sitting and hitting Roshan, Pudge is hooking you over to Fissure's social media. !F into chat. If you haven't already followed Fissure on social media, click that link, opening up that link tree, and it will provide you with all the social media channels that Fissure has. Updates from tournaments still to come throughout this year. Malrine will miss on this epicenter blink. He actually wanted to dodge Collapse maybe a bit, but a nice Burrow Strike on 2, but Yatoro is unaffected by it. So the Doom goes off onto the Sand King, and Crit will lose his life. Can they chase the Sand King down, though? Couple more seconds left on the Doom. They have Tree Dance going on cooldown constantly. Now has it available. Malrine, Burrow Strike forward. He's got no TP. He's got nowhere to run. So he'll just try to make it as long of a marathon as he can. Yatoro's chasing him, and TP's coming all over the place. Sentry down to the ground by Miposhka, and take Malrine down. Crit almost able to respawn by the time the Sand King finally falls, but that is also another minute off of the Aegis timer on the Troll that Falcons can't use for a full-on 5.
Snaking is giving this this Nether Blast with Rubik a little bit too much, and you can see how Rubik forcing out some TPs and Spirit knowing roughly where Falcons are, how many heroes rotated, despite Falcons having the Aegis, gives them the info to make plays with. Once again, we see Spirit, the best team when it comes to Roche fights, even though this wasn't necessarily a Roche fight, but they prepare for when that Roche is dead so that they're in a position to go for a fight. And this has been the story of Team Spirit for the past 3 years. They have been the best team at utilizing that time when the enemies are hitting Roche. It's beautiful to see. This opens the tower for them. The game is now completely different.
Picking those big next items up, and oh my god, I love an Ogre with a Midas in his quick buy. It's like one of those things that every Ogre player loves to do in their pubs, but I'm glad Miposhka, you can say, if you see an Ogre in your pubs, it's like, why are you going Midas? You can say Miposhka's doing it too. Off me.
Well, you want him to get the gold, right? And some luxury items for the Ogre are actually not half bad. Though, you know, I'd like a 4-staff, but in time, I guess.
Yeah, the Rubik is queuing up the 4-staff for the team, right? So I think Ogre has room to make a Solar Crest for the Slardar or the Monkey King. Ton of items you can think about as they jump onto the Slardar, specifically Morel trying to make it out, that is. I don't know if he's making out with trees or not, but Malrine will make sure that he dies before doing so. And Tormentor's going to be also up in 30 seconds, so you can see Team Spirit's wards that are about to expire in top will give them info if they show up there. Amar running straight to Yatoro, reveals himself in the lane. That is his Fresh Radiance Mage Slayer up.
The supports are
With
baiting.
a stun, and they're actually doing a lot of damage, but the Glimmer comes in. Snake King's coming in from the back. Yatoro's life getting sucked out of him. And Falcons, well, that kill should secure the Tormentor, even if they are damaged.
You could see that the two supports of Spirit were like waiting and wanting to join the fight at the perfect moment to maybe bait in some more heroes from Falcons, but Falcons brought all 5. They're not playing around, and I think this is a bit of an oversight for Team Spirit when they were waiting for that Bristleback that the Tormentor was going to be spawning. So obviously Falcons are going to feel confident bringing in more than just a few heroes.
Well, they picked up the shard for the Pugna, and I think we've only seen one really good use of that. I mean, of course, you still get the cast range on the Nether Ward. That's the main use of it, but the upgraded Life Drain, where it starts to refract if you throw it onto the ward. I think Save was the only player so far that I've seen actually use that Nether Ward heal to just keep himself alive. It doesn't really do any damage when it comes to hitting like 3 or 4 people, but he's healing so fast that if you have 3 people hitting you and you have 1000 HP, you're just not dying because you're out healing all of the incoming damage. But I think that's the biggest that you can actually get out of it. So it's more about just the upgraded distance cast of the Nether Ward. Morel has been found under a ward farming on the Falcon side of the map, so I don't think they're going to hesitate for too long. But Slardar is well aware. He is fast on his feet. He's out, dropping the voice lines and getting out of it.
One thing that Spirit are doing well in this game is that they are utilizing that bottom tower did fall, so they're trying to get some hate towards that bottom lane. However, you are now losing a big chunk of the map. With Falcons getting a tier 2 down, you can see how their lead is starting to gradually increase, and this is a point where Team Spirit are no longer gonna be able to just, oh, we're gonna try to split push and the game is gonna stay in our favor. No, you are dealing now with a lot of map control lost, so you have to find a way for that mid lane tower to be open, and luckily for them the Aegis has expired, so winning a fight is no longer impossible for them.
That could do very good for the economy of Team Spirit too. Just need to find the right target. Malrine sitting next to the trees, going in. Morel missing the stun, but he does get the connection of the Corrosive Haze. They caught the Doom first, though, in Amar, and Malrine just trying to get out for now. Wait for a chance to reinitiate. They'll give away crit. They haven't used the Doom yet on Collapse. He is patient with it. Team Spirit only picking off a support. Falcons happy that they're not going to lose more than that, but they also wished maybe Team Spirit sticks around a bit longer for them to reinitiate.
Yeah, immediately they're running forward. They understand that if they just pull back here on Falcons and try to shove out the waves, that Spirit could catch them. But if they just start running towards they expect Team Spirit to be, where they also have vision, that is where Team Spirit can be caught.
Amar with no fear, leading the troops forward. Didn't get his Lotus Orb off, so no.
Spirits are thinking of fighting.
Back stuns, and Toro is getting to it. Collapse is running to the back, gets the Doom onto the Sand King once again, but that is Pugna doing a lot of damage onto Collapse, who has to be careful of that life drain. They finally got Malrine and snaking out of the way, and Amar is in a 1 versus 5. The cavalry is coming in, but is it going to be in time there? Because Skitter finally gets there as Amar dies. There is Crit loading up with a sharpshooter. It's almost enough to take down the Monkey King. Skitter, though, he's fighting versus so many stuns. We talked about this in the draft. They've got so many ways to control him. Skitter falling, and Falcons are going to lose everybody in this. It's Spirit cleaning house.
Okay, Spirit surprising them and countering those 3 heroes that came, that I understand. But how and why did you think that you can win this fight 5 versus 2? You're running in with the troll. I cannot believe Skitter keeps doing this, popping his ulti onto a Monkey King every single time a mischief comes out. And the only reason that that fight is not a complete disaster, but it's a disaster, make no mistake about it, is because Crit somehow managed to snipe the Monkey King there at the end with his boomerang and his acorn shot. But if that doesn't happen, then it's one of those moments where, like, guys, we just threw the game. But this was just a perfect turnaround overall. The Adaro, seeing that they're being chased, waits in the trees for a perfect opportunity to change this fight with a boundless strike when they were trying to kill the Porsche.
Yeah, they didn't have enough burst to go with at the start. If they were able to blow up that Ogre Magi and get on the run without getting hit by Boundless Strike, that could have been a Falcons win. Then with the reinforcements coming in, you jump at the Team Spirit for a second time in a row. But Team Spirit just tanky enough. And now Omar's going to get the hate for his previous move, as you know, this jungle no longer belongs to you. And Falcons, with their 6K lead, it's gone. 25 minutes in, Team Spirit is now tied in economy.
So let's see. The mid lane tower still hasn't been open, right? So Team Spirit still hasn't managed to do that. That is something that gives me confidence that Falcons are still in a decent spot when it comes to map control in this game. But when it comes to team fighting, I think we've gotten to a point where we can see the downsides of this Bristleback in this particular game. You are versus a Slardar. Bristleback hates playing versus a Slardar. You are going to be needing that Blade Mail that he's queuing up, and he's thinking about a Lincoln Sphere. I'm thinking AC. I'm thinking you need a Blade Mail. You need extra armor, because without the armor, the Bristleback just does not work.
Yeah, it's like you need Lincolns for the Doom and you need Lotus Orb to remove the Corrosive Haze so you can stand more in the front. Lotus Orb it's good in itself, but there's too many things you need to remove to be able to play. So I can get behind the idea of the Lotus, behind the Lincolns, but I get your point too, Harry.
It's too much. It's too much, right? You are putting so much emphasis onto countering the Doom, and you only have 1 armor item in the Lotus Orb. But yeah, I guess once you get the Blade Mail, maybe it's gonna be fine, but it's very hard to calculate the damage. I still think that Slardar, when he marks you, especially once he gets level 18 and the Monkey King just goes ham on you, you're gonna die very, very quickly. Also, remember the Nullifier? Well, they don't need it because Collapse has been staying with the Purge creep for quite some time. And considering that he does have a Shiva, he does have the mana necessary to spam it enough in fights.
Yeah, 3-second cooldown on Purge. Thank you, Purge, indeed. But yeah, that Nullifier, even if it takes a while for Morel to finish, they have a budget. They have a budget and it's fixed.
Now what Spirit are doing, they're pushing the bottom lane, trying to get Falcons to go towards that side. Okay, they should without hesitation go for Collapse. You're afraid right now if you're Falcons. You lose a couple of fights like that, and then you no longer play without hesitation.
Amar TPing, and maybe that is the confidence that they need, but Team Spirit's already stacked up. The entire team is here, controlling the bottom half of the map. They should expect that this cliff area should be warded. The Poshka obviously going to place that ward a bit deeper in. Show movements from that tier 2. In the mid lane, the bottom tier 2 is open for chip damage, maybe even falling on for Team Spirit to take as soon as they see Falcons showing on the map. Roshan number 2 is up though, which Skitter is already going to start, and there's the roar coming in, so Team Spirit, they instantly turn their attention towards Roshan, and it's not going down fast enough.
Yeah, they know that the side of Falcons, they need some time to stack the minus armor. But this is one of those moments where Team Spirit might decide, okay, let's deal with the waves and catch them afterwards, right? We cannot necessarily do something about Roche. We're gonna run on their vision, but let's prepare for when it dies.
It is a plan. At least they cut down the mid wave. Roche banner in Troll's backpack. And another 5-minute Aegis Last time around, they were able to get pickoffs right away as soon as that Aegis was picked up by the Troll. Remember, 2 heroes were dead already inside the first minute. And some teams are just so good at that too, that when they see either the Aegis is being taken or the Aegis has been taken, is playing on the enemy side of the map in particular areas, you can see that Bermuda triangle of obs wards placed down by Team Spirit in the area that they can play in, gives them a big advantage to catch somebody off guard who is trying to regroup with Falcons when they want to push with an Aegis, right? So Team Spirit, one of the better teams as well to read that. And a lot of teams are trying to learn and mimic this move of when they're taking Roshan or they get the Aegis, go in deep on the enemy side of the map. Try to find instantly somebody. So you're absolutely correct on that analogy. Morel, though, as you're returning back to your side of the map, he sees the Hoodwink take the outpost. Good reactions on him. He's only died once on the Slardar so far. He has the least deaths on the server.
Okay, I like this from Falcons. The call is pull them back. We know if you go towards the bottom side of the map, there is a good chance that you can have better vision than us. And fighting into better vision of Team Spirit in this particular circumstance is way too dangerous. So this is a very smart move.
Some heavy early damage coming in. Snaking's mana dangerously low. Won't be able to cast a lot.
Keep an eye on that life drain that Drew just stole. He stole the life drain of the Pugna. Usually you don't even see that here when he's healing somebody up. But inside of a fight, if Falcons, let's say, try to commit onto the Monkey King, this Monkey King now that has a harpoon, so a little bit of extra mobility, has a life drain behind him, that can be a surprising factor in the next engagement.
With all of that extra spell amp on a Rubik, plus 26%. Amar, Skitter, fine collapse. The Toro waiting in the trees for a time to strike. Looks like they're just retreating under their own vision and hope that Falcons extends this deep. But there's an 80 rune down in bottom, which actually Team Spirit knows about. Falcons not sure if they saw it yet, but they'll set their attention towards that action. Yeah, there we go. Malreen's gonna pick that up for himself. Team Spirit changing positions.
I mean, with a Stinger and your Aghanim Scepter, that 80 rune on the Sand King is gonna hurt quite a lot. It's one of those moments where Team Spirit are looking at this and thinking, even if we do get the perfect positioning in a fight, there is a chance that we lose. So
Morel, there we go, the first stun, follow-up stun, the Bushwhack brings in the Slardar crit. No sharpshooter. We're still on cooldown for 3 seconds. Malreen can't close in that kill, and Amar is showing up too. He BKBs to teleport to safety. Crit, if he only had the sharpshooter ready, that could have been a kill, but now it's a what if. Skitter sees Maposhka, goes straight for the Ogre down in mid. Gets instantly pushed back by the Psychic Headband into the stun. He's got his own tools to keep him safe. Midas Ogre went for that Solar Crest first. And
again,
Vlad's as well. He's buffing up his teammates. They're going to do a lot of damage in time. Skitter pushed in deep once again. We've seen this before.
Yeah, they just
goes
want to
collapse.
stop his...
Almost got the bat to connect on him too, and Malreen is stuck for now. Goes onto the Doom. Collapse, can't get out. Rooted up for now. Skitter will find the double. Falcons will charge straight to Yatoro. Rooted on the spot by the Troll, taking a mano-a-mano fight. And Amar was standing right next to him, but Amar gets to stand a bit longer. Monkey King misses the timing on the stun. Tried to find some lifesteal with the Boundless Strike, but no such luck. And Amar gets out. The tower is not enough to finish him off despite the corrosive haze on him. Spirit down by 3. Falcons will find the first tier 3.
They should be able to find the full laner access. The wave is coming, and considering that you don't have a glyph, this tower is gonna die. Monkey King, he finished his BKB as he was dying, so no buyback on him either. Spirits are gonna have to let this one go. Not the worst thing in the world though. They dealt with the Aegis. Mid lane is the easiest one to shove out, and Team Spirit have been playing on the side lane, so now Falcons are finally gonna be forced to reply to those rules, but it's still a victory, right? You're getting a nice fight going your way, and of course a laner racks, the extra infusion revolt, and a little bit of an annoyance from those super creeps, but not the worst thing in the world for Team Spirit.
Hey, a win is a win. You'll take anything you can. You know, one step towards victory.
So they're gonna have a double Lincolns very soon. Collapse Doom, he's already struggling in terms of finding impact in this game, but
yeah, he got unlucky in that fight too. As you saw there, like he just couldn't find a follow-up on that Infernal Blade. It's like, is there a target for me to hit right away? And by the time it's too late, Maureen's already recovered. Burrow strikes in. Yotaro also a bit unlucky there with the Monkey King. No healing going his way.
Well, at least the next fight is gonna have a BKB, so standing his ground is gonna be a little bit easier for the Monkey King. He does a lot of damage inside of that Wukong's command if anybody starts getting closer. Also, look at Team Spirit's neutral items. It's 3 Gale Guards and 2 and 2 Psychic Headbands. It's basically we want to get this troll away from us, right? It's don't get close, don't attack us, and even if you do, we're gonna have the shields to prevent that lifesteal from coming out.
Yeah. I'm blue, dabba dee da die. Yeah, Gale Guards, Psychic Headbands, and then you have 5 unique neutrals on Falcons. All the way to the... I think GD Pollen Bag is a very underrated item, I feel like, at least in pubs. I feel like not enough people are picking this item up. I think this is very useful.
Yeah, they're probably picking it up in games where it just has a clear usage. You want to reduce the heal of a certain thing, right? And they don't look at it as like, okay, that's actually gonna be doing quite a lot, even if the hero doesn't necessarily directly heal so much, like a Morphling or a Huskar or something along those lines. But it is a big amount. Health restoration loss of 30%. It's definitely a lot. If somebody would run the numbers, like how much that changes in terms of how much less damage you need to do to kill somebody, it'd be quite huge.
Yeah, there are definitely some uses for this item and the right place and the right time for it too. But we are sitting in a pause, and that pause seems to be coming to an end as well. There's been some issues with Discord. We're also having minor issues with our voice comms. It seems like Discord's having a bit of a hiccup. But outside of that, everything running smoothly. And I would also say smoothly in a way for Falcons, because in that recent history of losing to Team Spirit back-to-back series now, they're 5-0 going Team Spirit's way. That one grand finals and the opener of the group stage. Falcons still in a very good position, have dictated the pace and I wouldn't say dominated the game, but have been setting the initiative for the majority of this game one in the grand finals. So that proves that Falcons can break the curse.
I'm gonna start checking if the gem cannot be bought until the 30th minute mark, but because every team, every single game, 30 minutes comes and they buy a gem. In this game though, I agree with the timing with both of the teams. This is where you definitely need it for Falcons to completely overtake the map, because you need to go into the side lanes a little bit, and for Team Spirit you need to focus on team fighting a little bit more. So you cannot just continue split pushing. You have to go and face your enemies. It's going to be a bit tougher to shove out the ways with the super creeps coming in.
Not sure if I've read this before, but Gems item tooltip actually has a poem on it. Not a lot of Dota items in general. I know people don't really care about lore that much. They're more about the game itself. We're about the game itself in here as well. Morel popping his BKB going in, but no catch, as Maureen is also BKB'd up, protects himself from that initiation attempt. Get out from Morel.
I mean, you're saying that people don't care about lore, but the loregasm of Slacks is one of the most anticipated YouTube videos when it comes out. I know it doesn't come out too often, so people like a little bit of a story, and
yes.
I think we're starting to lack that a bit in the Dota community.
I'm an artist myself, like, you know, being a musician for like 13, 14 years, like seeing poems and items. I just like to look at the more beautiful things of graphical design, of how much effort has been put into this and that. And Dota has a lot of hidden gems from the past that are still with us up till this day. Like, can you name why an item was named this way? Why is Yule's Scepter called Yule's? Like, there's a story to that. So...
yeah, I just know that we
hidden
don't
gems.
have Lothar's Edge any longer, so I'm very I'm very sad about that.
Yeah, the new generation doesn't necessarily know what you're talking about right now. They're trying to clip Amar. Not going to work out. Rue missing the target there for a second. Amar did have his buddies right behind him. looking at the Bristleback's inventory and their allies, don't exactly have a lot of saving items like Force Staffs, or you have one Glimmer on snaking. So, you know, if you get cliffed easy by accident, or on purpose by this Rubik, you might be stuck there for a while.
Yeah, see, Monkey King just bought a Lothar's Edge. So, is there now people are gonna know what I'm talking about, but either way, both of the teams very much cautious in terms of how they want to fight. If Team Spirit would want to fight right now, they would probably run towards the bottom lane. And if they would run towards their enemies, that would be, you know, going on to fight onto their terms. For Falcons, same is true. If you're fighting, it's gonna be on the top lane. That's where maybe you can find a pick-off and force Spirit into a bad fight. And usually we're gonna be seeing this little bit of a poke in the mid lane, which if Amar steps out, they're gonna jump him.
I mean, the fun fact is, right, Spirit had all the vision down bottom, and now Falcons under the vision they go. Nice burrow strike interruption there, but this Bristleback doesn't seem to stand a chance. The gem is down on the ground. 80 seconds without their Amar. Skitter focusing on Doom. Doom already burnt in the fight there. Skitter gets to turn around with his ulti, finishing off Collapse. Both offlaners dead. Morel looking for an angle in. Can he catch one of the supports? Decides to change his mind before crossing into the river. They'll both be up at 63 seconds. So level 22 Bristle, level 20 Doom, both up at the same time. But Team Spirit, with this move, forcing Falcons back for a moment. I love that they instantly go for the D-ward on that cliff area. There's still one ops placed down by Crit, showing deeper into the jungle dome. And Poshka's now putting down lane wards. This is where Team Spirit next wants to fight.
Oh, this was very close for Melrine to get caught, and they're actually thinking about going for
They're still on him. Morel will find him. The final strike connects onto him, and the lift from Rue, and they blow up Melrine. No chance to survive.
And why are they so good? They got the gem as well from the Bristleback, but that was, you know, I saw Mars' movement, and for 99% of the time when he was staying in that lane, it was perfect for him not to get caught. But Team Spirit, they're staying and they're waiting like a predator, and at a perfect time, everybody jumps, bounces at the same time, and they got him. So it was just beautiful to watch. If it lands them the Roche, and it seems that it did, it landed them the Roche, it landed them the gem. It allowed them to overtake the vision in their big jungle as well, to take down so many wards. It's beautiful.
Might not be fully over yet. They're eyeing on the situation. Roshan hasn't fallen yet. And Team Spirit are trying to draw Falcons in as well. But Poshka's taking the bait as Yatoro will finish off the Aegis. He's picking up all that stuff on the ground. He doesn't have room for him for all these items in his inventory. And they've left a Refresher shard, and Amar is going to find it for himself. He had a healing Lotus, and he picked up the banner instead of the Refresher. And Yatoro, in a slight moment of panic, there was like, I have to bail.
Yeah, what's happening? I'm too rich. I've got too many items. What am I supposed to do? And arguably, the best item went towards Falcons. I mean, if the Troll gets this, and I think maybe he is the better target. The only question is, does he have enough mana? Yeah, with Link 2, he should. You get double BKB, double ulti. That's going to be huge.
Crit might run into a Monkey King. Not sure if he saw him during nighttime because he's got the Brawny enchantment, but now he sees him and he's right on top of him. Smack that bat on a squirrel.
So they
Nothing left of Crit.
They gave the Refresher to Malrine. I can't shake the feeling that if one good epicenter lands, that you're not going to be needing a second one. So I'm kind of surprised that they're not giving it to Skitter at the moment. He might feel like his inventory's full.
Yeah, I mean, at least judging on the way Skitter is using his ulti, it could sound like it makes sense putting the Refresher on the Troll. Just so that he can extend his life for an extra 8 seconds. So 16 seconds of immortality on a Troll. Plus the 7-second BKB charge, and then with a Refresher, a 6 seconds. So 13 seconds of BKB, 16 seconds of immortality. Those are very long seconds when you think about how quickly heroes are getting bursted.
Exactly, especially if he gets to level 25, then it's literally going to be immortality, unless, of course, you get Doom. That can be the one spell that prevents you, but it seems that he's not really the Doom target. They're dooming the they're doing the Sand King and they're focusing the Bristleback with the Slaughter. This is once again why I wasn't too hot on this Bristle aspect. It has worked out thus far in terms of controlling the game, but when it comes to the later portions of it, the Slaughter is just way too good of a counter for you.
No matter what hero you give an MR, he's gonna make it work, Harry.
Is that how it goes? Yeah, you're right.
It does seem like it, you know. Anytime you see, oh, he's got this hero, it's like, wow, what a great game. We did not see that coming. That was 2 years ago, 1.5 years ago. Now you see MR pick a hero, and you're like, yeah, he's gonna make it work. There's no longer a doubt, a shadow of a doubt. See what Team Spirit has on their minds right now. I think they saw a glimpse of the Bristleback, thinking that they're probably in the area. They still have those lane wards where the tier 2 used to be. So they have a fallback point. So they'll basically just set themselves up on a vanguard deep in the lane, and if they have to retreat, they'll have their own vision to play with. Falcons, they're on the opposite side of the map currently.
Spirit are getting...
queuing up Boots of Travel too.
I think right now the idea is just to be able to kite the troll. Sure, with the bots too, you're going to be able to split the map a little bit more, and that is also a thing that Spirits have been doing quite a lot, because Falcons don't have good ways to just go and shove out the waves. They deal with Spirit by running at them, running into their base and forcing them back. That is what their lineup does, and they've been doing it in a pretty nice way. But I think Team Spirit, they're itemizing really well towards their strengths. You know, when you see a troll, you usually would see a lot of 4-staffs, but they have a different approach. You're like, we're just gonna itemize so that we can run around the map and annoy you. And for a Doom, you know, when you have an Octarine and the bots too, it's gonna be a lot of annoyance coming their way. And also, one of the biggest level 25s in the game is gonna be the Monkey King level 25, which Yatoro already has. So good luck fighting inside of that Wukong's command.
Yeah, the big ring. And then, of course, Doom 25, the break later on in the game as well. He gets the mute on top of it. No more BKB usage as well once he drops that Doom on a target. However, he's going to need a couple of those, so maybe the refresher for the Doom at some point. Considering the old school way of countering a Doom is Lincoln's spam in your team. We've got 2, the Troll, the Bristle, the most important ones as well to have it. I love how Mulreen's like, I am not going Lincoln's. I'll find my way to either avoid or target the Doom.
Yeah, he needs to be behind. That's kind of how you want to play this lineup, but it's a problem because the Bristleback feels squishy. Even though he's not squishy, he just feels squishy when Team Spirit jumps him. So you have to react a little bit faster than you naturally would want to if you're playing the Sand King.
Crit scouting up forward. Epicenter loaded up and going in. They find Morel, the Slardar, who's only died once this time in this game. Hand cannot use it, as he's blown up by the sharpshooter by Crit. Oof. And that takes the Slardar out for 80 seconds, and that mid lane needs to be defended by Team Spirit, as that lane does not have racks.
Team Spirit were running to save him because he had that cheese, and he almost got it off. You get that cheese off, and you pop the BKB, the rest of Team Spirit comes, it becomes a hard fight, a very hard fight for the side of Team Falcons, but yeah, it's time to go. They're missing a hero.
Just charging in on Skitter, and well, okay, he froze himself back there with the Boundless Strike. That was not really intended to connect onto the Troll at all.
Not really.
A couple of quick hits. They'll get some chip damage on the tier 3 tower.
Now, the move from Falcons there was, let's try to see if Team Spirit are going to be making a mistake, and then they come over and say, no, it's Team Spirit. When they're on a high ground, they never make a mistake, so it's better to just get ourselves out. I'm surprised that they didn't put a little bit more emphasis into shoving out the bottom lane now when they saw this many heroes in the base from Team Spirit. So I understand why you are afraid to go towards the bottom lane, because you can get caught there, but it was a perfect opportunity while the Slaughter was alive, and you saw multiple Team Spirit heroes in the base to get that wave a little bit out. Now it's just gonna be way too easy for Team Spirit to send those creeps to your base.
I had a bit of a question in terms of itemization here. So they already know Skitter's Troll is pretty much 6 slotted. You can change that power trades into another item. But we see the Butterfly that is queued up on the Monkey King above, say, a given Scotty to give them a bit of extra kite, give him some extra stats. That ulti of his, which will also be very very handy to use. Is there a particular reason he wants to go for that butterfly on the Monkey King above the Scotty?
The only I would actually want to see a Scotty more. The only thing is maybe he thinks butterfly just brings some more damage. I think that's the thing. He wants to be able to kill the bristleback faster.
All right, well, that's one support down, maybe even two. As the Ogre sits on the high ground here. Another stun connecting onto the Slardar. That's that humongous ulti. And Trolls ulted up, though. Mirel will fall. Yatoro BKB's up and hopes that he can stand his ground. The Troll will fall, though. And Yatoro's still healthy for now. Crit, no sharpshooter. Beautiful play by Malrine. The Stinger comes in and tries to blow up Yatoro. He gets to the high ground, but can he get far enough? Crit's trying to get close to Namar as well, chasing the Monkey King down. And they will find him. Falcons will get 3. Collapse barely makes it out with just a couple hundred HP. And despite the Troll dying, they have cleaned up the space for Malrine and Amar to shine.
Yeah, a bit of an unnecessary commit onto the Troll. They were fighting him with like 2-3 heroes while his ulti was going. I think they could have just left the Monkey King to stand there. He definitely wouldn't have taken that much damage from the Troll inside of the Wukong's command, and the Troll would have died either way. But this way, you just got a lot of your heroes low, and you're just getting all clumped up together for a counter initiation of the Sand King. And as soon as the Slardar is dead, we see how strong the Bristleback is. This hero feels squishy and weak when he gets marked by the Slardar. When there's no Slardar, you know, even this one hero dies, he can run in 1 versus 4, and it is going to be scary for Team Spirit.
Yeah. He can just vibe in the fight. Like, Amar has no threats in the world. Skitter is playing the sacrificial role of having to go in and full commit with that ultimate. Not like he has much of a chance. But Falcons can use that to their advantage. Despite Amar only doing 1,500 damage in that previous fight, Malrine doing 8,000. That Sand King just getting to shine, just doing whatever he wants to in that fight. And yeah, Team Spirit, their only source of damage is the Monkey. He did 11 out of the 15k. Slardar did barely anything. Ogre got no dot damage out. You've got Rubik stealing Sandstorm out of all the spells. It's like, that's not the one you want to have. There's nothing else for him to get.
Yeah, you can come close and just die to the AoE damage. They don't even have to really hit you, and you're still going to be losing your life. But overall, yeah, that's how it's going to be. If the Troll goes in, they use way too many spells on him. Slardar dies, Bristleback can run in, and then when Bristleback is running in, it's just creating so much space for Malrine finally to play the game as he wants to. Because he has been the main Doom target up until this point, and it made his game very, very hard. But then when Skitter eats it up and still does a decent chunk of damage, it makes the fight easy for the other 2 cores of Falcons.
Next, Roshan. We've had 1 for Spirit. The first 2 for Falcons. It's going to be a 3rd for them, and Malrine charges in. Beautiful stun onto 2, but he did get notified. He runs away. At least Doom didn't use his ulti yet. Collapse patient for the time being. Refresher also up, so he has the 2nd ulti. Falcons backing away behind the Roche pit. Yatoro spotted, jumping in on Crit, trying to finish up the Hoodwink, and he's close to, but the healing comes in, and now the Troll fully focuses on Yatoro, and they've got Mirel coming in for the rescue. Skitter is melting. He's still got his ulti up for a second. He might fall in a second. So does Collapse, as he's got self-doomed by the Lotus off of the Sand King, so they're able to get the Doom out of the way. That's 1 already dead for Spirit, but Skitter taking the fight to Mirel, battling versus the Slardar, and he cannot stand his ground. Amar is also on the chase for Yatoro and keep Rue out of the fight. Mirel is backing away, and the fight is all Falcons for the time being. Yatoro and Rue finally taken down as Skitter regroups with the boys. Miposhka able to TP home to a base which is no longer theirs. Falcons break the curse and finally get a map win off of Team Spirit. I think it was also his Lotus Orb that enabled that reflection on Collapse, so he self-doomed off of Malrine, as Amar was running next to Malrine by the time that was happening. So some, pretty big impact as well to these late stage fights. So you can happily pick a 24 Bristle if this is the end result. Team Falcons stick to that one.
It's amazing what